everyone freaked out, but we live. We win. You want a monitor? No, you're a regular NPC. All right. So, I mean, I like this to keep these focused where they need to be. I mean, I do like that. I need to be more careful how I handle that, but I like it. I should have done 2, 2, 2. I should have walked it way up together. Drop another waymaker. That's fine. Very cold. Is everything frozen or can I get snow? All right, I can get rain. That. Make it rain. Fire elementals are going to love this. And you two ding-dongs are going to love what's fixing to happen to you. Because I'm not resurrecting you. Unless you have 4 legs, you're not getting a res. Unless I have some kind of major issue. You know what? Oh. I fixed that. I was just fixing to throw people in rangers. Let's gear them up and get them killed. Oh, come on, Foxy. Oh my god. Okay, I might be rezzing people if this gets too low. I do need some kind of functioning. That's not my fault. I wonder if I should. For a while I was double walling this. I wonder if I need to go back to doing that. Because that, I don't know, kinda, sorta seemed like it helped. I'm not entirely sure, in all honesty. Pretty safe in there. All right, okay, so we haven't really lost that many golems. Technically, yeah, because this freaks him out. This wasn't freaking him out, but that leaves over half not being covered. So I think I might do that from now on. Go back to doing the double wall. Hmm. There. Some there. Maybe one up there? There. There. Hmm. Do that. Down to 143. Still dropping them ever so often, but not at an alarming rate like it was when we were fighting on the outside. Let's get one a little bit higher up. It seems like they are trying to push in. Let's get a dissolve. Maybe another dissolve up in here. Are you mad about a dissolve? Would you want to look at the corpse that bad? So many pixels. I'm still not sure what I think about the addition of the clouds. Kerrigan. I mean, I like it. It's a nice touch, but sometimes it can be a little. But I mean, it makes sense since I'm a deity that I could, kind of shoo the clouds away. Can't decide. Well, the Kerrigans die. How do we handle that? Do we have a funeral? Nope. We just have another kid. The way I set these kill lanes up, I would play more with the outfits, but I don't think I'd be able to see what kind of idiot was getting killed. I saw that there's a shiny in here somewhere. Almost there. Yeah, I knew that was coming. She'll make a fine heap. Wow. I thought I was cold. Level 37 fire elemental? No, you can go. Right there. What's going to happen? There's going to be a shiny one like that. I'm going to be half paying attention. I'm going to misclick, but like a pixel, drop him in the base, and he's just going to start roasting everything. Who's that? Gregory Pond. One less organizer. Can't believe I've got this many people still. And I'm still almost not got enough people. Oh, that's something I need to do before we move on. I need to recount the amount of housing I have and take that into account for the future due to the occultists. I'm just glad that other new building that captures the spirits of the dead, but not the dead dogs. I've got a complaint about that. Fix the site. Used to be what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sometimes 7 housing was enough. I think I'm up to 9. Might even be 11. Ooh, nope. I barely even had time to switch spells before you dropped dead. And you're fixing to drop dead, whatever's in there. Whoever's in there. Whoop, there. Start with a C. Claire. If I can find Claire. Nope. I'm gonna find every here. Won't hit the golems, but it'll hit the people. In this game, Drax, you are going to, the first thing you do gives you a whole map. There's no corruption or anything. You will, all right, so I can explain it easier now. It's been 1 year. We did it. Where are you ding bats going? Come here. There another? Okay. And I'll slow it down so you will place, it will be a starting campsite. Let me get rid of that spell, which you can upgrade to get more stuff. And it will give you you can build in area where if you were to click something, anything, you'll see this range that you can build in. And then there's, you don't have range and everything. Most things generate a range. Certain walls block it. And anything's not in there, golems, people, they won't fight in it. Technically. Then the whole purpose is once you build, the corruption is taking over the world. It will form somewhere on the map and it will spread out. And the corruption is now a programmed living thing. It sees that, it's day X. Well, I should have X amount of space to live in, where if I do this again, every square is what it should live in. So it will spread out. It's not going to be a little here, a little there, a little there. It'll be here and just kind of start creeping towards you and then around you where it can't reach because your buildings have resistance. And you will do whatever you can to attract people, get your people to have kids, classic city builder in that state. And you'll see the corruption grow. Night comes, and it has seasons, of course. So you'll need to be careful of your food, water freezing over, as you can see, and you can't gather it. At day, you'll do your stuff, classic city builder. At night, it turns into you might as well say a tower defense game. They will spawn from the corruption, and the graveyards give it increased spawning stuff. And based on what day it is, see if I can capture him. Yeah, he's level 30 based on what day it is. And the corruption threat, which I'll explain in a second, gives it a multiplier. At night, they're going to come in and wherever they spawn from, or if it's here, he's going to make a straight line. And their straight line is your starting camp. If this other stuff's in the way, they'll hit it as they go. But this is their target. So someone from here is going to beeline to here, here. However, I've walled in and made it to where this is the only way into my base. So something from here, instead of coming through here, Now we'll walk all the way around, try to get in here where I have defenses. So in that sense, I turn it into, it can be a defensive game, but I turn it to a tower defense game because that's literally what it is. There's all different sorts of towers for defense you can do, all different sorts of strategies. I do weakening stuff and keeping stuff back with towers, with a kill zone, as you saw with heal spells, with masked golems. Unfortunately, the drawback to golems is they don't really level, but they can get elementaled. You can use humans. Yes, they do get stronger. Yes, you can gear them, but they have life expectancies. As stuff happens to them, like say fighting, being struck by lightning, or anything else that they actually live through, this number will lower. So right now he's going to live to be 56. He's 9 now. That can change, especially if you assign him as a guard. As he fights, as he takes damage, not going to live as long. So it's one of those, during the day, you build up what you need to run a city and to defend yourself. Then at night you play Let's Defend, because as you saw, given lightning, earthquakes, or being near monsters or seeing your spells, they freak the hell out. And they just are not that useful because it's like, oh my God, magic powers. But as they believe in you and you do stuff they like, then how much essence is what it's called in this one, and that's what you use to cast spells and power magic. And these right here, generate it, killing monsters, harvesting stuff, all gives you minute amounts, but recently added to the game per last patch. Beforehand, you had these collectors. Anything that happened, they collect it, or you could throw in crystals to generate it. Now there are cultists, they worship you, and that's how you get stuff besides doing things. And it's literally how there's different ways to play. You can play how long can I survive on this thing? How different ways can I figure out how, technically you could keep playing this map over and over and over. Let's see how many days you can survive. Let's make it a challenge. This is day 35. Technically, I'm through with this particular map, and I'll show you why. Here is the bulk of the game. That is how it works. This is the bulk. There is, as you can see, a whole lot of maps. Yes, very, very tough, because as you saw, as I was pushing them back, that red meter goes up because they get mad because they don't own the amount of territory that they think they should own based on the day. That's a multiplier. So you saw us having level 35-ish mobs, mid-level 30s. As that goes up, that's going to be a multiplier that makes them stronger. Same time, as the days go by, their base spawn level is going to be higher, which means that multiplier is going to hurt worse. So it's you can push them back, but the longer you wait, the harder it's going to get, and you can remove them. Now, as you do stuff, as you can see here, there's stuff I can do on different maps, and there's a lot of maps. The very first time you play, you can pick any map you want. After that, like say you want to play Clearland, that you like that map, or you could pick anyone. Once you pick, say, Clearland, as you can see, these are connected to different maps for immigration purposes. Once you pick this map, there's an immigration building. You must send people there to be ready to populate it, or you can't go, because we were just on narrow path. I have sent 50 people to this new region, so I'm allowed to play here, and I'll, over the first couple of days, around, first day I'll get so many, then each day has a chance for more of those immigrants to show until I reach 50. And that's going to be my starting population. When you first start your game, you can have anywhere from, on your first map, 7 to 15-ish. And then based on how well you're doing and how happy everybody is, random nomads will show up and be like, hey, I want to join you. Unfortunately, you don't know if they're going to be elderly, won't work. Children won't work, not until they're old enough. And elderly just eat and talk to people, back in my day, which gives them experience, but it keeps them from working. So it's, they're a mooch and they don't work, but when they talk to people, not only does their happiness and social rating go up, they get experience because the old people are telling them how things worked. Now, as you do stuff in here, you get stuff and I get bonuses. So normally you start out, what you see is what you get pen and paper. But based on these chests, I should have enough. We'll open one. And inside, from now on, I get +1 cold aura spell radius. I don't reuse. Bullet tower range, so they shoot 2 squares further. -10% min spell cost. That's going to be great because I use that to heal buildings and golems. -3 second harvest spell cooldown. All right, I'll take it. And these will stack up to help it. So it's kind of in that sense roguelike-ish, where even if you don't do so good, over time you can open chests and get buffs, but they're random what's in it. And each time this fills up, you get a random chest, and there's stuff over here. Like, it will be, each one will be survive X amount of days. And then it will, you'll click on it. It'll be like open 10 loot boxes in Enchanted Shoreline. You will get God XP, which is used to open these chests, and it will give you 1 perk to boot. You don't know what it's going to be, but you could get it. The win condition, you will get, every single person is the same. Every single time you play will be the same. This survive 1 day, any map will turn into survive 1 year, 35 days is what that is equal to, on every single region in 1 playthrough. If you can do that, this is a win condition. It will remove all corruption from every single one of your maps. So, like Woodhaven, this is, don't freak out, all this trash and everything, this is a pre-patch map. Beforehand, the corruption would, harvest stuff, whether it was in the way and they needed it or not, and it was killing frame rates, and he introduced, he fixed that by anything that's on the corruption has a super increased spoil rate and will despawn really, really quick. As you can see, I've not been back to this map since that patch hit. That's why there's white stuff everywhere. Let me find one that is post that. Azusa? Azusa was near the end. Aha, here we go. Valencia. This right here is 35 days. My base, holding them off. Corruption everywhere, right? If I do this win condition, technically beat the game. As soon as I load this corruption will start instantly despawning. And then this map is pretty much sandbox, no corruption, no monsters. Technically, ever. If you get a meteor shower, there's a chance that a fire elemental will spawn, stuff like that. That's just random stuff. But there's no corruptions, no monsters that will spawn. It's a free reign, whatever you want mode. And it's one of those, it looks like this, but once you load into the game, corruption's gone. You're good. So, I mean, that's, or like I said, you can take a map that you like, which for me, I almost always start on Woodhaven, and I always start in here because there's, normally this mountain loops all the way around. They've dug through, but I create a little chokehold here because I'm surrounded by mountains and the ocean here, so I can never run out of water, and I bottleneck in. That's one of my favorite maps, so that way I can stay there longer than normal to get a lot of stuff to supply a lot of maps and just kind of go in. So I mean that's pretty much the gist of it. I mean, at any time you can doom the world, delete it, you keep your buffs. You literally have to tell it, hey, I want to get rid of my buffs too. Yes. Like you cannot wall yourself in. If you do, and there's no way into your base, whether it be a mountain or your own walls, then their AI changes to what's the shortest path to get to your base into, zigzagging around. Like, say, where was Valencia? Yeah. See, my chokehold is here, just like the one you just saw that was kind of over here. Same setup. There's towers up here, chokehold here. This guy right here is going to, based on his AI, come up through here and try to get into the base, which is probably right about in there for my tower, or for my castle. If I was to put a wall there, because some of this is a mountain, if I was to put a wall here, this guy would just come. Now, this is technically the direct path to my base, the shortest one, so it will just start going through mountains, trees, and walls. So you do need to leave an opening, or stuff will just be like, when it spawns, draws a straight line to your starting camp, that's where it's going to tear through. Now, if it was tearing through here and it's taking forever, which it would, and a mob from right here blew a hole through the wall right here, which it will, I've lost plenty of times like that, then this guy will stop here, come back, come through here, and come around. So, I mean, they can dig. The only thing so far, and that is in his plans to fix, the only thing that cannot be messed with yet up here in the ashy area, there is tar. Can't build over it, can't remove it, can't do anything. Same thing goes up here for the new lava area. Then that's a bad choice. There we go. This lava right here, can't do anything with, can't fill it in. You could shoot over it, but you can't remove it. It's just there. Yeah. I mean, well, I think with the new way World has done, since they added to where they can dig through stuff. Originally, yeah, they take those weird paths that you would make, but now there's certain ones, they added it in when they added the different themes you could do, the ideologies and all that, where there was that certain group that would spawn. It's like, hey, I like to go through and dig through stuff. Let's see, can fire enemies move over the lava? No, they can't, Ninja. Nothing at all can go over to the fire. Well, for now, like I said, that's something he was working. The fire is the newest stuff. He said after he got that in, since it's on the same wavelength as the tar, just different colors, he was going to go back and work on the tar where we could do stuff with it. But he has not got around to that when he took his hiatus for health reasons. But like I said, he's back now and working on stuff now. Occultist doing. Like, I did want to see this. 35. Yeah. God, the worst thing is I can't pause. But yeah, I won't start it because I'm pretty much there for today. But look, I'll show you what I'm talking about, Drax. Springland. Since I finished that, I want to establish a new colony. Establish it. And this would be the same if you were starting a new one or migrating. Yeah. I don't need that. Get out of my way. All right. See? Perfect map. So based on the resources and how you think you want to handle stuff, you would place your camp. This is my castle, but this is how it starts. And you will just pick wherever, and it will have a starting... This is where you're allowed to build area. So you'll have to deal with that and then use... hold on. We don't want that. The storage buildings here also provide worker slots and all that, but it generates control range. Can help you do that. along with lighting. Large fire pits or the cryolithium, same thing. Until you can, upgrade certain buildings to get more. Now there are stuff like the ancient cullis here. Is there an actual managing? Some of these will actually work. There are some that are built, the ancient radiance pools, and they will generate mana over time. Yeah, here we go. It hasn't created any yet because it's a new map. It's 9, but you could just get free energy from this by hovering over it. But it's one of those, it's like, yeah, there's mountains here, crystals here. Do you like the setup because the water's here? Or would you rather, here, whole lot of mountains, all that. Not much crystal, not much water. Ooh. So it's kind of one of those, it's like, how do I want to set up? Let me think about it. I mean, technically I could do over right here and I could lay claim and get a free technical makeshift crystal. Or if I wanted to start here, here's a free lumber mill. If it's, once it gets within range, but the same thing. Hey, here's a free makeshift housing. But do you really want to start in the middle of the map? Because usually the corruption will try to start opposite of you. Like say I started right here, which is up here in the map. The corruption will usually start somewhere down in here between the halfway here and halfway there. So that way you have time to build and do stuff. Now I've tried it a couple of times. I suck at it because it's not my forte. I'm more of a mass golem with massive firepower backup, as you saw with a kill zone. There are people who will build roughly centerish wherever the corruption is up here. They will just play, get what they need for fire pits, and they will leapfrog that sucker all the way up here, contain it, and push it right off the map. And then for the next 30 something days, all they got to worry about is meteor storms for fire elementals and blood moons, which actually I did have one of mine glitch out before and the corruption deleted itself due to something. I didn't build defenses. I didn't think I needed them because I'd never actually accomplished it before. That game got reset simply because I forgot about blood moons. It started raining slimes. This instantly filled up a little bit each day because, corruption had no squares. So on day 14, it was raining level 20 something slimes. And I had no defenses. That didn't end well. So it's one of those, even if you do remove it, like I said, you do need a little bit of defense or what is it? It's magic. You make a cullis gate where you can drop stuff in, or same thing. These are the same thing, but they're start on the map. You want to surround, if you drop too much too often, it will start making lightning until this blows up and makes a gigantic earthquake and a mess. Put lightning rods around it, you get free energy and it won't blow itself up. Yeah. Well, unless you do it so much that the lightning outruns the lightning rods you have. But if you have enough lightning rods and they're high enough level and you behave yourself, it can last pretty well. Usually like this or the Gullus with 4 around it decently leveled will last in case you have a whole lot of issues. But yeah, it can be fun. I mean, like I said, I do that. I used to do, there are people who do like the zigzag mazes with the long range towers that will, shoot through. And then there is, let's say, defense is up here. Towers, banishing towers. Anything comes within range of it, it shoots it, and it magically moves it randomly somewhere on the map that you don't control. So if your sphere of influence ends right here, it could take the mob from right here, move it to right here, or it can move it all the way down here. Because it doesn't matter if it's corruption owned or not, you just can't control the land because it has to be allowed for the creature. Could this creature be allowed to spawn here? Yes. Or be dropped here? Is it also yes? Or a yes? Then it can go there. So it's one of those, then you would probably like this, but keep in mind now, because I have to warn everybody of this on Rise to Ruins. This is a punishing game. It is meant for you to lose. You are not supposed to win. The whole point of Rise to Ruins is how long can you live? Because you will die. You will not make a good enough tower defense that you can live indefinitely. Between the creature level based on the day and the multiplier based on their anger, they will be high enough level, you will lose. I mean, it's going to happen. The whole point will be, how long can you live? That's the catch. And how many different ways can you find to do it that way? Because you can do a mixture of towers. You can do only towers. You can try golems. You can try golems and towers. I've tried only golems. Works pretty good. Until the late-ish game. Then you kind of get overwhelmed. You need a little bit of help. So it's kind of interesting. Yeah, we're going to save and exit there. And there, I don't think I can see it from here. Let me back. Oh, well, that counts since I migrated, but didn't place a camp. Okay, I didn't place the camp, so I don't get credit. Can we back up again? So I fixed to say, in case you're interested, there is a map editor. You can make your own maps. You can try maps. So it's, just because I can do this and it's fun. I don't have to actually worry about mana. Boom. I mean, it's one of those you could do. I don't know if you're, I don't think anyone would be good enough with micromanaging. You could do a whole bunch of portcullises and try clicking and dragging all these mobs at night and sacrificing the portcullises. I don't think anyone would be, the amount of mobs that come, I don't think anybody'd be fast enough, in all honesty. You'd have to have some kind of something to hold them at bay while you get them. I could be wrong. I just don't think it's possible. If it is possible, then why aren't you playing Pro StarCraft 2 or something? Because you got some mad skills and you probably need to be Zerg or Protoss. Oh, sorry, Pupper. Didn't mean to scare you. But yeah, I mean, like I said, if you like your tower defenses with a little bit of difference with a city builder today, you'll probably like this. But just remember, like I warned you, a lot of people get mad. It's like, this is hard. This is tough. This is supposed to be. You know, people play Souls games because they like the crap beat out of them. This is a tower defense that is built to beat the crap out of you. The only difference is, can you live? And for how long? I mean, you can set goals. You can be like, hey, let's start I don't know, you could technically start leaderboards on stuff. Post your screenshots of doing this. I mean, you want to run, like, you want hard mode? Never, ever, world map. You can play through this. You want hard, I'm on nightmare mode. You want nightmare mode, hard mode? Never accept these. Never open a chest. Never have any buffs. I mean, I got lots of buffs. You don't have to accept them. You can go hard mode if you want on nightmare mode. So technically there's normal mode, hard mode, no buffs, because you're not going to accept them. Same thing with this. I mean, even if you complete any of these, if you don't click it, you don't get it. So I know you look like a hungry, starved puppy. You're wasting away, aren't you? All right. Well, that is it for me today. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope, if nothing else, Drax, I hope this gave you something to maybe add to your wish list or pick up, or at least think about it. As I fixed say, I've been playing this. Whew, this has gone through a lot of iterations. Originally, it was a it was a random generated map originally. There was no world map like this. And you could build anywhere you wanted. And mobs just would spawn and go and build a camp. And then at night, they would attack you. There was no corruption. They just built stuff like you. And the whole way to do is either you lived or you could place bonfires everywhere, because the corruption could not build buildings on territory you controlled. So it was one of those torches everywhere so they can't build bases. And now it's the glorious like it is now. And he's got more stuff coming, because I've seen the development. I can't wait. But that's the one good thing about games, especially a dev that loves his games and keeps working on them. You never know what he's going to do next. But that's it. I'm hungry. I have a four-legged friend that if she doesn't get dinner soon, I might be losing a few toes. She's kind of looking, don't look at me like that. I taste horrible. But I hope you all have a good day. So I've been playing. Oh, I've actually started over on that. I love Amazing Cultivation Simulator. And if you like that style game with either Stardew Valley, then check out Immortal Life. It's in early access, and they've been working on hardcore. And if you like city builders and Amazing Cultivation, Immortal Mayor, which is a pure city builder, but the same thing, you can take some of your population, if anybody's good enough, and train them into being, ascending to immortality and teaching them the ways of fighting, along with plenty of gods or deities to pray to and make mad. If you make one of them too happy, then they get jealous. But yes, I love Amazing Cultivation. I tried even the Tribulation 9. Did pretty good. Never could quite beat that first Jaguar attack on, was it day 30 something? 34, 35, somewhere in that area. But I do keep meaning to go back, because I know they'll have Amazing Cultivation 2 very soon. Oh, the Water Dragon Cave. Yeah. I fixate. Just make sure you put enough stuff around it to keep him under control until you're ready to deal with him. I've never actually got around to dealing with him. I'm scared. So I just keep making him happy with Earth, or calming him with Earth stuff. But that's it. I'm out of here for today. I will be back. I don't think I'm going to be playing or checking in on anything next weekend. There's stuff coming out now that the Steam sale is over. Oh, it's time for more new games. I can't wait. So until then, I hope you all have a good day, good afternoon, whichever the case might be. Thanks for stopping by Tap Dancing Ninja. It's been a while, but I always appreciate seeing you. Like say, have a good day, good afternoon, whichever the case might be. And until next time, I shall see you all on the flip side.